Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is the mid-April 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Cancer. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on. And it's totally fine if you find this video a few days before the middle of the month, a few days after the middle of the month. You'll find it when you need it, Cancer. If you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly. But also, once you're subscribed, you'll be notified when I post videos in the future. But with that being said, let's go and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're taking a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close. Column number 2, we're going to take a look at just general what's going to happen through the end of April. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or our spirit guides. Let's see here. Played a summary card for that what's wrapping up and coming to a close column. We have the card Influence. So this could be one of two things, Cancer. You could have been influenced in the last few weeks, or you could have been the one doing the influencing. But let's see what messages we have. The first card we have is the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is a card of loss, regret, grief, feeling abandoned. If you look at this card, the 3 cups are knocked over there. This person is essentially grieving those 3 cups being knocked over. So a card of low feelings. So likely you've had some low feelings these last few weeks. The next card that we have is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is wishes coming true. It's material abundance. It's a card of good health. Some of you could have been getting over a cold, but this card is really important because it's kind of whatever you want you can have. It is also very much so a money card with the material abundance, but overall great card there. Then at the bottom here we have the Death card. The Death card is a card of big changes, something coming to an end, indication that it's time to move on from something. Kind of going through a rebirth or a transformation. So likely big changes or transformation for you the last few weeks too, Cancer. But let's read through these and see what messages we've got. Lots and lots of sword energy to start off with, so we'll call that out. Swords are typically air signs, and it's very intellectual. Let's take a look here. The first card we have is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a card of self-imposed restrictions. It could be a card of isolation as well. If you see this person though, their eyes are blindfolded, their arms are bound down, but there's lots of swords stuck into the ground, so this person can very easily scoop back and get themselves free. So I do feel like this is like you processing these emotions on your own, but these could also be like emotions that you're thinking of, Cancer. You might be reading into a situation or kind of like in that what if type scenario, what if this, what if that. So some of these low feelings, I will say, feel self-inflicted. They might not be reality, but it could be what you think is happening or what you think is going on or what you think is being said. So do be really careful with that, because we can kind of take ourselves down a rabbit hole that we don't need to be in. The next card that we have is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is typically a not very good interaction or relationship. It's theft, betrayal, dishonesty, running away. I do feel like this is tied to the Death card more so, of like transitioning or changing or moving away from a relationship that's not very good for you. We of course have the Nine of Cups, the good health card, so I do think it's in your best interest and good for your health to move away from this relationship or situation that is not serving you well, Cancer, if you haven't done so already. Then at the bottom here we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a card of nightmare, anxiety, grief, depression. This person's quite literally sitting up in bed worried about something. So I do feel like some of you are worried about separating or going through this transition or going through this change. But the Death card always has a really positive outcome. Hence the sun there shining through in the background. So just know that this transition is meant to happen. Again, it's good for your health. I know that's non-message, but that's the message that's coming through there. So do embrace that transition if you're still partway through. But yeah, let's go and take a look now at what's coming through the end of April for you. So just a general April card. or column, we have the card shift. So not surprised to see this because we're definitely going through a transition or change here. So shift is right in that same kind of thought line. So going through a shift, going through a transition, going through a change. But let's see what messages we have for you going into the end of April. The first card we have is the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is a very curious card. It can be a card of gossip or truth. Whenever I see this card, I typically use it as a cautionary card to kind of stay away from the gossip, stay away from the truth, stay away from the water cooler talk. But in general, this is a really, really good spread for you. You could just be getting truth on something that's going to enable you to shift, make a decision, and it's going to have a really positive outcome. Just kind of reading these top to bottom there. But let's see what other messages we have. We have the Two of Pentacles. This is having two choices, having to weigh your options. Again, I do feel like there's a decision that you're going to be making, Cancer, going into the end of April. That's pretty clearly coming in as a decision. Again, you might get some information, truth, or like hearsay that's going to prompt you to make this decision. However, the outcome of the decision is going to be really, really good for you. We have the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is my favorite card in the entire deck. You see there's a full rainbow, all the cups are full. We have a happy couple, kids playing, the grass is green, there's water running, there's a house in the background. This is like the card of everything, but it's a card of family, contentment, total love, and support. So whatever path you're on, whatever shift you're going through, Cancer, looks really, really good. Again, you seem to be making this decision to go this direction, but you're going to be glad you did. Let's see here. For clarifying cards, we have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is a very fast-paced card, a fast-paced lifestyle change. You see this horse and rider are moving quite quickly on this card. So this truth might come out of nowhere, or this shift might happen quite quickly. Again, it does feel like something that's going to happen in the last few weeks of the month. So in general, this change is coming fast and will be quick. The next card we have is the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is a new project, inspiration, urge to create. Anytime we have an Ace card, it is a card of newness. Given that this is paired with the Two of Pentacles, which is that decision card, then we have our Ace of Wands, which is new. If you're deciding between new and old, Cancer, I'm going to tell you, I would encourage you to go with the new path. Like, again, if there's a new path, if there's an old path, definitely go the new path there. The next card that we have is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is new ideas, new mental clarity. Again, another card of newness. So this new path that you're going to go on will lead you to a lot of happiness, a lot of contentment. Again, the card of everything there with the Ten of Cups. So whatever this new thing is looking really, really good. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. Think job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, anything with money. The first card that we have is the Hangman. The Hangman is an interesting card. It's quite literally kind of how it looks. You're like hanging there by your foot. It's very stagnant energy. Not a lot is moving, not a lot is changing. So there is some waiting. You're almost like waiting for new information when the Hangman card comes into play. The next card that we have, though, is the Star card, and followed by the Page of Pentacles. So you might have been waiting, and now I think we'll get some movement. But the Star card is a card of renewal, hope, inner clarity. We do have the big star at the top here, too. So some of you could be getting recognized or in the spotlight going into the end of April. So you could get some recognition or some sort of award through work. And then at the bottom here, we have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is a very patient card. Not super surprised to see that just given the Hangman. There obviously has been some sort of patience or waiting going on, but this does oftentimes indicate a new job, raise, or some sort of money news. So some of you could be getting a promotion, new job, you could be getting a pay raise or some sort of bonus. Maybe as part of this recognition you receive, there is a financial award with it as well. But let's clarify and see what messages we've got going on. We have the Two of Pentacles. We had the Two of Pentacles a little bit earlier. This is, again, making a decision. So decision keeps coming up for you as you go into these last few weeks of the month of April. But the Two of Pentacles can also be a card of having to multitask or weigh your options. Maybe you have been like too busy doing all these other things to really focus on what you want, or maybe you're feeling stagnant because you're just like trying to juggle all of these priorities. So again, there could be a decision, but this could just be a reflection of all the different things that you're having to do at once. The next card that we have is the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is a card of necessary transition. You see these people, their heads are hanging down, they're facing away from us, and there's a bunch of swords stuck into the boat. But the boat is heading forward in a positive direction. So overall, this is a really good card, in my opinion, because again, this is part of this necessary transition. It's something that needs to happen. Some of you could be moving, relocating, or traveling as it relates to work as well. But part of the star, I don't know, there is some sort of transition that's happening, but that's going to give you that renewal, that hope, that inner clarity that we associate with the star card there. It could perhaps be tied to this decision. Then at the bottom here, we have the Ten of Pentacles. Love to see the Ten of Pentacles when it comes to money readings. In general, this is just like long-term stable money or large amounts of money. So again, a great money card. We have two good money cards tied together. So there could be a pretty significant raise or bonus coming for you. This is also like a card of leaving a legacy or retiring or inheritance. So some of you could be getting an inheritance or retiring as well. But two good money cards there at the bottom for a money column. So I always like to see that. So now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to love. So think family, friends, relationships, children, anything of that sort, anything we associate with love. The first card that we have is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is a very supportive, tolerant, empathetic card. Cancer, this is coming through as a reminder that this needs to be you. The King of Cups should be a reflection of you. So do make sure that you are supporting your family, friends, loved ones going into the end of this month. Make sure you're, I guess, maybe even more tolerant than usual, more empathetic than usual. There will be something that comes up that we need these softer emotions, it feels like. So do keep that in mind. The next card that we have is the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is very much so a money card, but does have some love meaning as well. With the Nine of Pentacles, it is a card of luxury, financial gain, but it is very much so a card of solo pleasures, and I know that sounds weird, but that's like to the T the definition of this card. So this is making sure that you're taking time for yourself too, whether you're single, in a relationship, married, children, whatnot. Do find a little bit of time for yourself, Cancer, going into the end of this month, because again, that is that solo card, so time for you on the love front. Then at the bottom we have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, award, recognition, good news, success. I think generally speaking, those of you that are in a relationship, this is a good sign that you're in a healthy relationship. If you're looking to get in a relationship though, I do think that this is a good indicator too that there would be a successful relationship should you be interested. There could be good news too. So think of good news in terms of love. There could be good news in your family. Some of you could be finding out that you're having a baby if that's what you're hoping for. Hoping for an engagement. This is like a card of success and good news, so those things could be associated there as well. But let's further clarify this column and see what messages we get. The first clarifying card we have there at the top is the Fool. The Fool is a good card anywhere where we get it in the readings. The Fool is a card of fresh hope, taking chances, going on new paths, having new beginnings, new adventures. In general, again, some of you could be entering into a relationship, and I think it would be successful and pretty promising if you're single seeking a relationship. But this is with the King of Cups, and I feel like this could be like a new side of some of you, being that supportive, tolerant, empathetic person, but it will almost open doors if that makes sense. So being in touch with a little bit softer side, more of those lovey-dovey feelings, I think will be beneficial for you going into the end of April. The next card that we have is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a very resourceful card, so in that sense a really good money card. So you do have two money cards paired together, even though we're talking about love here. But this is also a card of fertility. This could be a marriage card as well, so some of you could be getting married, engaged, or there could definitely be fertility. If you're a parent, especially make sure you make time for yourself. It's hard sometimes when there's a lot going on there, but even parents should have some alone time as well. Then at the bottom here we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is a very, very bold card. It's a card of power, a card of charm, a card of courage. Again, for those of you seeking a relationship, I think this is the traits that the new person will be possessing if you are looking for a relationship. So this person's going to have a really bold personality, be kind of in a position of power, be very charming, very courageous. But overall looking good. This could be if you're in a relationship as well. But again, we were saying that the Six of Wands is kind of a stamp of a good relationship or good news or good success as it relates to love. But now let's take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. We have the summary card of Center. I think you'll be finding yourself feeling more centered and more balanced as we go into the end of April, which is always a good thing. It feels like things are going to be kind of balancing out, evening out for you a little bit, Cancer. But let's see what messages we've got here in this column. The first card that we have is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is very reliable, very hardworking, very patient. I can tell you right now that we do have two patient cards coming up in a row. So patience is the message that's sticking out there. If there's something you're wanting or waiting for, you need to continue to work towards it, even though you need to continue to be patient. The next card that we have is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is a card of waiting for results. So again, we have a patience and a waiting card together. But at the end here, we do have the new beginning. We have the Fool card, which is that fresh hope, taking chances, going on a new path or adventure. So I do feel like there will be a new beginning or a fresh start for you coming. But there will be some waiting. And make sure that you stay focused even as you wait for this to come through. The first card that we have is the Nine of Cups. We had the Nine of Cups earlier. Again, really good card to have. This is a card of wishes coming true, material abundance, good health. Likely this is one of the things that you're hoping for, good health, material abundance. But you'll need to stay patient as it comes. Continue to work hard, continue to stay focused. But remember that whatever you want, you can have. So do work for it in that manner. The next card that we have is the Strength card. The Strength card is a card of self-love, unconditional love, self-respect, and courage. Courage is really the word that's sticking out here. So again, you need to continue to push forward, stay focused, even as waiting comes up. Then at the bottom here, we have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is a card of being very studious, very hardworking. So again, continuing to work towards whatever this new beginning is with the Fool. This could also be new love too, so this Fool could be new love for some of you as well. Now at this point in time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions using the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the 5 of Spades. This is number 6 card. That's going to be a no. Question number 2, we have the 9 of Hearts. This is number 16 card. That's going to be a yes. And for question number 3, Cancer, we have the 7 of Spades. This is number 25 card. That's going to be a no. So no, yes, no for you, Cancer. If you watched your video earlier this month, we did pull a card from our Healing Crystals deck. This is a crystal to keep with you through the month of April. You had Fluorite. Fluorite's really good for order, structure, helping you say no when you need to, gives you clarity of thought, and helps give you a healthy ego. Oops. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Your message says, sometimes I pull this card out, sometimes I leave this card in. This card is related to like the illness of Cancer. But I feel like there's pretty much somebody you know that has Cancer. It's a very common thing, unfortunately. So leaving this card in, what Cancer cannot do: it cannot cripple love, it cannot shatter hope, it cannot corrode faith, it cannot eat away peace, it cannot destroy confidence, it cannot kill friendship, it cannot shut out memories, it cannot quench the spirit, it cannot silence courage, it cannot reduce internal life. Thank you so much, Cancer, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, when you subscribe, that helps me very greatly, and you'll be notified when I post future videos. Also, if you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you, Cancer, and have a fabulous rest of your April.